Thank you very much for joining us here at CCSC. Picking up right where we left off from episode 1, we're starting in episode 2. And in this episode, we're going to go from the Little Hamlet milestone over to Worthy Village. So we're going to gain 330 people in population on this episode. And we will discuss the milestones that are unlocked in this next milestone whenever we reach it. But for right now, we need to get from Little Hamlet and show you the new things that we unlocked in the last episode. So we've just unlocked taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, and education. I'm going to go through these with you. We're going to go... So also, whenever you reach a new milestone, you get a little bit of money thrown at you. I think we were in debt. I don't remember. I think it was about $6,000, $4,000, something like that. And I think they give you $20,000 at the first milestone. So we have $14,000 now, which is great. That's some money to play with. But I want more. So we're going to go to economy, and we're going to take a loan. The first loan that you're eligible for is the loan from Silver Sunset Bank. This is a $20,000 loan paid over 52 weeks at 5% interest. So it's only going to cost you $1,000 to take 20 grand. The weekly cost is $400. So when you go back to this screen, we're starting to almost turn a profit. We are losing $55 a week, but that would turn around really quick. However, we're about to take a loan out, and it's going to cost us $400 a week. So that's going to go right back down, but don't worry about that. It will come back up in the end. So the first thing we're going to do is go over to the taxes. Now, pretty much all of these are okay at 12% taxes. But in the beginning of the game, you have no money. So we're going to bump these up a little bit to 14%. And that'll slow the growth just a little bit, but we're going to make a little bit more money, and it's not going to last long. We're going to have to drop, soon they'll start complaining, we'll drop it down to 13, they'll complain a little bit more, and then we'll drop it down to 12. But for a little while, we can pull 14% from all three of these. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And whenever we get back to this screen, the first thing that I want to take care of is our power. We're going to turn that up to 75, and that should get us up there. But the first thing that I want to do is address the new things that we opened. So we opened one of the most important things, which is garbage, getting rid of the refuse. We have a landfill site. Now all this does is hold garbage, as you can imagine. It doesn't process garbage in any way. It just holds garbage and creates pollution. So I don't want that. I want to go with the recycling center. Now the recycling center costs $16,000, but it's one of the green initiatives that's offered in the DLC. It only has 15 trucks. The processing rate is 24,000 a week, where this has 15 trucks, and the capacity is, 8 million. But you're just holding garbage. You're not doing anything with it. So eventually you're going to have to get a recycling plant, and eventually, once it's unlocked, an incineration plant. So we're just going to start with the recycling plant. And I'm going to do something kind of unorthodox here. And in the middle of this roundabout, I'm going to come down and put a road, just a gravel road. We're going to put a gravel road here, and I'm going to put the recycling plant right there. Now, this is not a permanent thing, and I wouldn't keep a recycling plant in the middle of a roundabout in the middle of our city, but until we expand our tiles a little bit, until we get rid of this city, I'm just going to put it right there, and we'll figure out what to do with it later. Now, if you put a landfill down, and let's say you get it half full, you have to empty that landfill before you move it. Same with cemeteries. You have to empty them before you move them. With the recycling center, anytime I want, I can just go to the inspector tool over here. I can click onto the landfill, or the recycling center, sorry, and I can go to relocate building. And it costs me $3,200 to relocate the building. Which, yeah, it's expensive to relocate, but at least I don't have to wait for it to empty before I relocate it. So we're going to leave that there, and we accidentally turned it off. If you're on this screen and you hit triangle, you can turn it on or off. So we're going to leave that there. And if I was going to leave this as an industrial area, I would just put the recycling center over there and leave it. But as I've said before, I'm going to turn all of this, as soon as I can, into farmland. So we're going to put the recycling center there. And the other milestones that we unlocked healthcare and education. We need an elementary school for our students so they can grow up to be big and smart. So we're going to put an elementary school down, and I think we're just going to put the first one here. And I say first one because you're going to need quite a few of them. The elementary school's capacity is 300 students. Now, if you go to the main screen here, and your info views, and go down to the book, your education tab, your elementary, it will show you the eligible students and your capacity. So we only have 50 eligible students, so not a big deal. Good student-to-teacher ratio for right now. Sounds perfect. So, but we got our school down. We're not going to have a bunch of dum-dums. Everything's going to be all right. We also unlocked healthcare. However, the medical clinic is $10,000, and we don't necessarily need it quite yet. But whenever we do, we will put it down. Right now we only have $8,000 left, and we're still losing 74, 72, 70 bucks a turn. Sorry, a week. But that's turning around. We're starting to get some things move in. Now we've got a little bit of a demand for commercial. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to bulldoze that and create a tree. I'm a magician. So I'm going to bulldoze that, and then I'm going to go to select, and we're going to put a little bit more commercial over here. And as you can see, we still have power problems, so I'm going to put another wind turbine over here. Now, when you're putting down a wind turbine, you see the orange circle around it. That radius, and the little headphones you can see, that radius is the noise pollution. So if you put that over here, all of these residents within that are going to get noise pollution sickness. Then you're going to need that medical clinic. But if you keep it over here, no one's going to know. Out of sight, out of mind. So we get 8 megawatts there. We're going to put it there. And that should boost our electric needs to what the demand is. So yeah, now we're producing 13 megawatts, and we're only drawing 11, so we're fine now. And we didn't have to raise the budget on our electric anymore. So we will raise the road budget a little bit here. You want to start raising that just a bit. And our city is starting to take form. Now, the next milestone is whenever I can change all this to farmland. And I think we can make it there. The next milestone is 650. Yeah, we should be able to make it there just fine. So we've got a little bit of residential demand. We're going to go down here. I'm just going to hit fill. We're going to get that whole area. Now we're back to electric problems. So let's increase that budget a little bit more. 85. That should do it. Yeah, 17 and 15. That should be fine. And we're going to get a little bit more residential. But I'm going to do select, because if you do fill, it's going to fill all this in, and you're going to have houses on your main road over here. And we don't want that, so we're going to do select. And we're going to... Now, I don't mind having houses on this road. That's just a 4-lane that's, you know, it's not a main road. So we're going to get that whole area. And then the houses kind of butt up against this main road here. But they're not on the main road. And we might put a walking path at the end of that or something later, but... so it's now September 28th, 2020. I think it was June something whenever we started. So in 3 months, we've grown the city by 650 people. Our population is now at Worthy Village. So we're going to end the video here. However, at this milestone, we have unlocked another plot of land. We can buy another 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. We've unlocked some new features. We have districts, we have policies. We can get another loan from a different bank. We have emergency services. We've got police departments and fire stations. And there is the new industry specializations. We've got forestry specialization and agricultural. And self-sufficient buildings. We can change all of the buildings that are on the map now, or in new zones down the line. We can make them self-sufficient buildings. We can make commercial specialization of organic and local produce. And we've got some new policies open. We can reduce their power usage and reduce their water usage. But the most important one, I think, is the smoke detector distribution. It's good to have smoke detectors in everyone's houses. It cuts down on how many people light their house on fire, which are a bunch. A lot of people light their house on fire. It seems, if the game is correct in real life, it seems astronomical that I haven't burned a couple houses down at this point. But anyway, so we're going to exit this and pause the game. We are at 655 people. We are growing 113 people per week. Game's going fantastic. We've got some industry demand. But as I said, in the next episode, we're going to flip all of that around and change the demands. Change the industry over to agriculture. And thank you very much for joining the channel, CCSC. Please like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel immensely. And we will see you at the next video. Thank you.